Good evening and welcome to Feel Good Talk Love 101. I'm your host, Charles Brakely, along with the host of Love 101, my man Naeem Najib. What's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Excellent, Charles, and everybody. Welcome. Thanks for
Awesome,
to
awesome.
be here.
Yeah, hey man, awesome day today. Was in the high 80s, like I like it, nice and hot. You know what I mean? That's my type of weather. So, I'm feeling great right now. This is it. The summertime, this is where it's at. So before we get started though, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor, the A Game, and I'm gonna let them tell you exactly who they are. So here it is, the A Game commercial. And there you have it. That is the A Game. Great for vitality, strength, energy, and libido. So definitely check it out. It's a great product. You definitely don't want to miss out. And this is for men only. So the women, hopefully, we'll get something coming out for you. But right now, it's for the men only. So back to you, Naeem. And what's going on and what's the topic for tonight, brother?
Well, we've been doing this open conversation topic for the last couple of months, and it's been excellent. Love having this conversation with everybody. And as you all know or not, I'm an author, and I write and teach about love and healthy relationships and abusive relationships because I'm a love educator, which means I'm also a healthy and unhealthy relationship educator because it's important to know both sides
Right.
of the coin. So today we're going to switch it up. We're going to have the open conversation, but let more people join the show, give you time to join and kind of jump in the chat, share, say hello, everything. And then second half of the show, we're going to do a more open conversation. But the first half, we're going to talk about a couple of topics that we have lined up, starting with, of course, if you share my screen, the principles of love and fear. I teach in universal principles, which are principles that are true. They're true for everyone. They're true all the time. They're true in every situation. And that's the difference between some teachers and doctrines that talk about, well, men this and women that, and this age group, this way of relating. This covers everything. Healthy relationships is a healthy relationship, whether it's a friend, a family member, a coworker, a colleague, a mentee, a son, a daughter. It doesn't matter. They are built on the same fundamental principles, just like a house or structure is built. You have structures, so many different types that look so differently, right? But or let's just use a table or a chair because that's simple. So many different types of chairs, but the basics is that it has to have those four legs, right? It has to have that stability, and it can be any kind of chair. You can reupholster, you can do all kinds of things. But the point is, many different forms of chairs, but they follow the same fundamental principles. So many different forms of healthy and unhealthy relationships. But here are the fundamental principles broken down simply is the acronym FACTS. So I invite everybody to take a screenshot of this, use it, tell your friends, like, hey, guess what? I know what love is. I'm going to tell you in like 10 seconds, watch, in 5 simple words. And it's easy to remember. So we got, for healthy relationships, for love, it's freedom, appreciation, communication, trust, sincerity. I have on more actually to share this time. We're going to go in a little more about fear because I added a few more things so that you can see the way unhealthy relationships operate a little more clearly. So for fear or toxic relationships, we got, of course, fear, meaning you're afraid, you're fearful of staying, you're fearful of leaving, you're fearful of expressing yourself, whatever the fear is. You're fearful of speaking up, you're fearful of what the other person is going to say, how they're going to show up. that type of thing, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing. But also in fear is force. Whenever you feel forced or pressure to do something, it's like, hey, Charles, come to my party. We had throwing a party this Saturday, and I'd love for you to be there. And you feel like, dang, he came to my party last time. I really don't want to go, but I gotta go because there's so much pressure around. Like, people gonna be there, they're gonna talk about me if I don't come. That's force. That's fear. That's not loving. And you gotta recognize force, not just brute force when someone's attacking someone else, but force in terms of feeling compelled, not in a loving way, not in an easy way, but in a strainful way to do something. And that's force, and that's fear. I see we got Kansu. Is Kansu joining us? Peace, Kansu. Welcome. How you doing?
What's going on, Kinsu?
How you doing, Charles? How you doing now?
Oh, great, man. Great to have you on, brother. Great to have you on.
Yes, I got some sirens in my background, so we gonna bring the heat, Kinsu. You got you got one of those fire necklaces again that I don't have and stuff, because
we got to link that.
Yeah, we do. Well, I'm just going through some things about fear just to expand our vocabulary, since we all going through the facts, freedom, appreciation, communication, trust, sincerity, and we all got fear, attack, conflict, trauma, separation. But what about force, right? What about anger and abuse, right? What about for conflict? What about confusion? No one likes to be confused. Communication is not confused, it's clear. So I'm actually going to add that while y'all here with me, because I can do that. Let's see, let's just put here clarity. All right, we need some more space, but clarity for communication. And that's another aspect of it. And then, of course, trust and truth and sincerity. But what about triggers? With fear, a lot of people talk about, oh, I'm triggered by this, I'm triggered by that. What is a trigger? It's something that you haven't healed from, meaning it's something that preoccupies your mind with the past, usually a past trauma that happened, and you're triggered by it. Like, it may be a dog that bit you when you were a child, and then you see a dog and you automatically get afraid, and you're triggered because of that past memory. You haven't healed that. You still associate dogs with attack, perhaps, right? Or even a certain tone of voice with judgment. When we all know people who sometimes they just talk real low like this. And some people they just talk loud, and they just a loud personality, and you think that they're yelling at you and coming at you, and they just may be this, they may get excited and start just getting loud, and you're like, why you go tone it down, watch your tone. And that's not really appreciating the whole person, or allowing things to unfold when you're trying to tell somebody to watch their tone when you don't necessarily know what it means, right? And the other thing is, even if they did mean to argue with you or to attack you or condemn you with their tone, rising up, can someone's tone actually factually hurt you? Like, can a tone reach out and hurt you? It can't. It's just a tone. You can take it however you want to take it, but it's like, I bet if we were everybody's seen movies or maybe been in the military, the traditional drill sergeant is like, line up, y'all, let's go. And you're like, you may on a normal, like at the dinner table, it's like, pass the gravy. That might not be appropriate, but you probably wouldn't want to say, hey, I was in the military and my drill sergeant was like, okay, everyone, we're all going to do a couple of push-ups today, only if you like it. And if you want, if you can stop, if you feel your arms getting tired, just stop and take a breather. This is all about love and peace. And we just want you to be the most fantastic killing machine ever available. So everyone, oh, are you okay? Did you hurt? Oh, the mosquito bit you? You run into the infirmary now, and you get some off to spray on that. That's my drill sergeant, right? You probably be like, I don't know if I want you protecting me, right? That's the way y'all train, right? But so that energy, that that tone of a drill sergeant, like everybody line up. That is not good or bad, right or wrong. It's just a tone. It's just a way of expressing. And so but again, you might have had an argument with somebody who was just really just coming at you, sounding like a drill sergeant, and you get triggered because of the trauma you suffered from before and how you associated that in a fearful way, right? You thought that person was attacking you with their tone or abusing you. And again, let me remind everyone that tone of voice and all that, it doesn't mean anything. We give it all the meaning it has. And you can choose to see it differently. Just say that. And then at the end, I put scarcity and separation because the reason I put scarcity is because sometimes we think about love as this limited resource. Like, oh, I just want this one person to love me and be my everything. And that's a scarcity mindset. It's, you don't think about anything in that term, like one and only one thing. Like, oh, you can only eat Chinese food for the rest of your life, Charles. Only one dish from one restaurant forever. You would be like, that don't sound right. That's limited. You can only have one extreme of income. If you lose it, you lose everything. You can only have one friend. There's no one anything. There's when we're talking about love can express itself in a variety of ways. Just like we have different friends and family members and people we hang out with, and they all bring a unique perspective, a unique energy, a unique vibe and connection that can't be duplicated anywhere else. So when you're trying to look for someone traditionally in a romantic relationship, people look for someone to be, let's just say what it is. You want somebody to be your comedian, your entertainment. You want them to be your lover, to be the best in the bed, right? You want them to just tear the sheets up. Sheets be smoking. Got to go get the fire hose on them things. You want somebody to be your chef. You want somebody to be your cleaning, your maid service. I said chef, but dishwasher too, because it's not done when you just finish eating. There's dishes to be done. You want them to be that. You want them to be your therapist. Listen to me when I got to dump a whole lot of stuff on you without even asking you. It's like, hey, honey, let me tell you what Roger said at work today. This fool right here said to me that I can't have, a cup of coffee. I'm telling you that I'm going to talk about this Roger talking to me, but it's like, you just gotta, you gotta hear all that. So you gotta be the therapist, the maid, psychologist, all this stuff, and you want somebody to be your everything. Listen, that's not going to pop. And then let's not forget accountant, right? Because this person has to be masterful with the money and dollars and stuff. Let's not do that to each other, okay? Let's be realistic and meet people where they are and say, maybe, all right, Kansu, maybe you and I train martial arts together, but maybe, when I want to play basketball, maybe you don't want to play basketball. Maybe Charles want to play basketball. What if I'm like, but Kansu, man, you're my only friend. Here's a basketball. Let's play. That's not fair to you. Like, if you don't like playing or like playing with me, you don't feel like playing, I shouldn't have only one person I can go to play basketball, or you have to enjoy the same things I enjoy. I like science fiction movies, so we got to watch science fiction movies together. Don't have to be that. Remember, you are always an individual in a relationship with anyone, and to maintain your individuality, remember to love yourself, care for yourself, find things that you like, read books that you like, watch shows that you like, go on walks by yourself, do things for yourself that remind you of your relationship with yourself and enjoying your time and your expressions of love to yourself. I don't know any comments yet, but I'm gonna just stop here because I said a lot. What do we got going on?
Yeah, the comments. We got a lot of comments. Got a lot of hellos out there. So we're gonna get started with the top. We got my man. What's up, Taymu? He says, yo, good brothers. What's going on, Taymu? Thanks for tuning in, my brother from another. We got Izzy Meditate. She says hello.
Izzy.
And now we got the family speaking to the family. Taymu says hello, Izzy. And Izzy says hello, Taymu. Let's go down to here. She said, I need that necklace with the third eye.
See,
You need that necklace with the third eye. So you got to go on that. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Shayna? She says hello, everyone. Izzy, you know, she fires right back at her. And okay, everybody's talking to everybody there. And this either has to be Will. It's got to be Will. He says, good evening, family. What's going on, Will? Thanks for tuning in. And Tyrone Rick says the 10 of life is tuned in. He's always tuned in. We appreciate it, brother. And we just talking about basketball too, Ty. So I know that's your thing. So, you know, chime in on that one. Chime in on that one. And he said, Good talk. What's going on, brother? Thanks for tuning in, like I said earlier. And I think he has one more down here you're talking about. He says, good evening, Charles Brakely and the Love Doctor. So, hey, Naeem, you adopted that name, brother. You know what I'm saying? So you have to keep that name. And what's up, Jamila? Thanks for tuning in. Love Doctor 101 getting it in today. Yes, he is. He's on fire. Like those sheets he was just talking about. And he says, meet me on Hayes. All right, cool. So he's talking about basketball. So he said, meet me on Hayes. So,
question, Chuck, is the A game good for basketball type energy?
Hey, man, it gives you all types of energy, brother. Trust me.
All right.
Stamina. That's right. Stamina, energy, all that. It gives you everything, man. So check it out. The A game. But anyway, he says check rock. No doubt. Hey, Ty, we're going to get together sooner than later, brother. But I'm going to bring Naeem with me, too. That's my point guard.
Let's go.
So anyway, that's all the family there. Thanks for tuning in. We definitely appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in every week. We got them going off. You know, mentioned the A game. Ty is going off the chain now. He says A game. Yes, indeed. That is the definitely want to try that out. Now he's laughing. So again, you know, thanks for tuning in. We definitely appreciate y'all. But yeah, Naeem, good topic, man. You got to have your own individuality. You know, I hate to be the same. Everybody the same would be so boring. You know what I mean? So,
right. That's you know, diversity and variety is the spice of life, right? It's the spice of meals too. Put some seasonings in there. Let's just have bland food for the rest of our lives, right? So anyway, anybody have anything they want to ask or share based on what we just talking about up to now before we open it up to a greater conversation? Kansu, anything you want to say? Anything come to you so far?
I mean, I know, like, as far as like fear, you talking about like fear-based situations, or even like based on like the book Communication. You talk about how there's difference between form and content, and in regards to form, like formalities, you know, that's kind of similar, you know. And then with that being said, you know, you got to be polite, or you got to be a certain way in certain social situations or whatever. You know, I know you touch on those different topics in your own spin of things.
But that's a good point, because somewhere in this book, I talked about that in terms of this whole idea of being nice, being polite, being courteous, and all that sort of thing. Like, you know, you have to be courteous and polite and considerate and all these sort of things. Like, that actually means something. And again, it means something. And can we go on mute? I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. When we talking about forming content, that's the same thing I was saying earlier when, okay, the tone of voice doesn't mean anything. So a lot of people say, and we had this conversation some months ago, Charles, when we were talking about, you know, well, what about people who say it's not what you say, it's how you say it? I would say that that's a good start. But let's take it a step further and say it's not what you say, it's not how you say it, it's what do you mean by what you're saying, right? Because someone say, oh, I really like this dude, Charles. He's a good guy, you know? And we can sound polite, like, all right, please, please pass the salt, Kansu. You know, this dude Kansu's jive. I don't even like this dude, you know. So, you know, under my breath, I can give the appearance of being very courteous and polite. I'm just saying that it doesn't mean anything. We all know how to act. We all know how to put on smiles. We all know how to lie. right? And so would you not prefer that someone let you know how they really feel instead of trying to lead you on to make you think that they like you? Or usually that type of behavior is connected to, I'm trying to get something for you. I'm trying to get in with you so that I can execute my plan or my agenda. So I want you to like me, but I'm really pretending instead of just being myself, being sincerity, right? It's okay. We don't have to agree on all the same things, but we don't have to fight about it. Okay, you like basketball, this person likes bowling. Do we have to say, oh, well, basketball is better than bowling, bowling is better than basketball? We don't have to go back and forth. You may hate playing basketball, they may hate bowling, but it's okay. Again, like we said, variety. But yeah, I wrote a whole thing in here. Don't ask me where it is. It's in one of these chapters in the book, and this is this is volume 2. That's why there's 2 volumes of this. So there's a volume 1 and volume 2, and it talks about stuff like how being nice can be used as a disguise for something else, meaning I'm pretending. I don't actually care about you. I'm not actually being kind out of the goodness of my heart. I'm just putting on a show because I want you to respond a certain way so I can get something from you, that sort of thing, that kind of behavior programming. Can we go to the comments again? I'll read them all. We have a couple more from Tyrone saying, good evening, Izzy and Jamila, and to Jamila, good evening. And Timu saying, I tell people all the time, it don't cost nothing to be polite. You know what, Timu, it don't cost nothing to appreciate someone, to give a compliment. We had that like a few weeks ago, that assignment. Give a compliment, appreciate somebody out of the blue, text them, hey, I appreciate you. Say something specific. I appreciate that time you gave me that orange, that banana. It doesn't matter. It can be something simple. It don't have to be they built you a house or something or paid your rent for a year. It could be something as simple as thanks for coming to visit me, or calling me the other day. Thank you for whatever it is that comes to mind.
Yeah, I've been on a mission with that. I've been opening a lot of doors lately, Naeem, and I've been that assignment just, carries over. I mean, sometimes I'll wait at least 20 seconds before they get to the door. Like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that, whatever. So again, man, I've been on my grind, man, with the I've always been like that anyway, but I'm just saying I've been really like practicing it now. You know what I mean? Because it was just like I'm really taking I guess notice that I'm doing it a lot. Well, I guess doing it a lot more, but I've always done it. You know what I mean? But I'm just noticing it more now. So, and that, like I said, that makes a person's day. But go ahead, back to you, man. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just have to say that because while we were on that topic of homework assignments.
I appreciate it because we wanted to check in with everybody else. Anybody else been doing that? Been complimenting people and sharing appreciation, just random acts of appreciation, kindness, appreciation. I want to give you a principle here. You've probably not heard it this way. We've all heard to give is to receive, right? What came in my mind when you were talking, Charles, was how could I, if there was a challenge, like you say, all right, Naeem, for every person that compliments you or says thank you today, I'll give you $10. How could I organically have that happen in my day without putting the gun to somebody and say thank you to me right now for not shooting you? Like, how can I pull that off without threatening someone's life? And what do you all think? How would you do that? And while you're answering that question, think about this principle. The principle is, you already know to give is to receive. But how about this? To give is to ask. Think about it. To give is to ask. What do you give? What if I'm walking around with people and I'm giving out compliments? What do you think I'm going to receive back? What am I asking for? Do I have a higher likelihood of someone complimenting me or thanking me, expressing appreciation when I give that, or a lower possibility of receiving a thank you or a compliment in return? No, go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, that's a high probability. Yes, sir.
What if I walk around giving insults to people, giving like, you ugly, you stupid, what you looking at, dummy? What if I walk around doing that? What's the probability that I'm going to be, asking for my butt to be kicked? Pretty much. Think about it, it's simple. If you go around giving out slaps on the back of people's heads, giving those things out, What's the? Are you asking for a fight or what?
Yeah, it's the energy that you give out. You know, the energy you throw out in the universe is going to come back at you. So again, if you're throwing out that negative energy, the negative energy is going to come back. You throw out the positive, it'll come back positive. So, you know, that's exactly what it is. So, oh man, we got a lot of comments over here that's piling up.
Let's catch up to them.
Yeah, let's catch up because I don't want them to zone out on us. Izzy says hello, Tyrone, because he was speaking to her earlier. And we have Jamila J. Choi. She says that means a lot. She was talking about, certain things that we were talking about, compliments and stuff of that nature.
Yes.
We have Tamu here. People don't know how much you can touch a person's heart just by showing appreciation. That's a fact. That's a fact, Tamu. Sometimes, that one hello might change that person's mind about doing something that they're going to regret, doing. So again, it works, man. I'm telling you, because a lot of times when I open up doors for people and I say, what's up? Or you look, whatever, even if I pay for their coffee, if they're in back of me and I say, I got that, man, it just changes their whole day. You never know what someone's going through. And when you do stuff like that, acts of kindness, it always, it just, I love doing that, to make people smile.
Next time you go out to eat, let me know where you're going, Charles. I'm gonna line up behind you with me.
It don't happen all the time, but it does happen.
I'll take my chances.
And Izzy says, this is in response to relationships and how women are conditioned to the idea of finding that man who is a knight in shining armor. Good luck.
About armor real quick, Izzy and everybody. I went to a museum exhibit in the Philadelphia Metropolitan Museum, I believe. They had a exhibit on the medieval ages in armor. Do you know how heavy armor is? Armor is heavy. You want a man he come wearing his shining armor, y'all going for a walk in the park. After 10 minutes, you walking, you looking back like, why are you back there huffing and puffing? It's like, oh, my darling, my sweet, this 85-pound armor chest plate is giving me a stroke. You're going to have to drag him to the hospital, all right? Whether the armor is rusty, dusty, shining, or not, it's heavy, And again, I'm making a joke, but the armor is basically a presentation that you're given. It's a mask you're trying to wear to get someone to like you. Put the armor down, y'all. Someone don't like you the way you look, the way you come across, like you said, that energy, right, as you are, then it's fine. There's plenty of people in the world that do like you exactly as you are. Naeem, Chuck, Kinsu, Tamu, Izzy, Miller, Tyrone, everybody joining today.
Yeah.
Shayna, thank you for joining, and know that you're lovable exactly as you are. You don't need to put on a mask. I mean, social distancing. I'm talking about a metaphorical mask. You don't need to put on a show. You don't need to entertain anyone. Just be who you are. And there's plenty of people out here who just want exactly the unique expression of life that you are, and that will celebrate you exactly as you are.
That's right. Comment. And if you haven't read it already, go check out Shayna Gourdin's Mask Behind the Mask and unveil pieces of the broken mask. So check her out. Definitely. And Izzy says, so to see a woman that is like Oprah not have the desire to be married is odd. I guess odd to many. Yeah. I mean, that is. I mean, I know that relationship she has with whatever his name, Stedman. I thought that was pretty weird. But as far as she might not be the marrying type. A lot of people aren't the marrying type, and at least she's like honest to the fact that she's not. Because who wants to keep get married and get divorced, married again, get divorced, and married and just never can get it right? So maybe she's not built for marriage. I don't know. That's a good question. Hey, Oprah, if you're out there, please give us a call. All right, this is Feel Good Talk. Love 101. Check us out.
Put your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think about that.
Exactly. Oprah.
You're doing your business, although we are, but at the same time, the principle behind this is that what is marriage? It may mean something different to every two people, and sometimes more than two people. Let's just say that what is it called? Single marriage, monogamy is not the only game in town, and actually there's a lot cultures that practice polygamy, etc., and polyandry. But what does it mean to you, marriage, whether you're married or not? That's a good question if anybody wants to ask. Answer. What does marriage mean to you? Because we know what it means to the state, half your stuff, right? But what does it mean to you? Because you get to define it as you choose with your partner, and or just for yourself when you're thinking about the concept. What does it mean to you, marriage? All right, let's go to the next comment.
Temu says, Chuck, I got quite a few of my Facebook friends on here today. Hey, thanks, Temu. Thanks for that support. Definitely appreciate that. And Izzy says, in regards to gratitude, it's so rare nowadays that when given in abundance, people often think there's something behind it. Yeah, that's the society we live in. You know what I mean? Like, and you're right. When you do something nice, people put their guards up right away because of the fact that they think you want something in return. And it's unfortunate, but that's just how society, and y'all correct me if you want, society, has people thinking and how society is. So I don't think it's weird, because I'll do stuff out of kindness, out of my heart, and just do it. And people might think, oh, well, damn, why he do that? Or, what's going on with that? So to me, it's not weird, but to a lot of people, I know it is weird, for someone to be nice or even just say hello to people, because I was telling y'all before, sometimes I would say hello to a, just a female, and they'd be like, what is it? What you're like, wow, what is he trying to do? Like, I'm just saying hello. That's all I want. I just said hello to you. That's it, So again, I think it's society in general that has people all up in uproars, and, people think with, I guess, what they see all the time. If you look at the news, and up in negativity. So again, it is what it is. What you feed your mind is what you see, what you expect or see. And I don't know. You can chime in on that, Naeem and Kensu. Y'all can chime in on that.
Yeah, Kensu. Instead of just blinging out over there.
No, that was my fault. I had him on mute. And that's probably why he probably was saying something. I don't know. So my bad, Kensu.
I was listening. No, I'm agreeing with what you're saying. Like that, it's making me think. Like, because that's very true. You interact with somebody, and I've taken a look at a lot of your books, Naeem. So far, and talking about bringing people and just doing acts of kindness without any expectation of anything in return. And some people receive it well, and others may look at it like, what? And from my own experiences, I can even admit, like, oh yeah, somebody was nice to me, or at least as I perceive, and then maybe whatever I was feeling that particular day, and I'm like, what's wrong with that? Somebody give you something, and they're like, what's wrong with it? Like that type of thing. But then you gotta look at yourself and like, why the hell am I thinking like that? That's it.
That you said it perfectly, and thank you for reading and checking out my books, Kensu, because I need people to remind me what I wrote. So thank you for doing that. And for real though, because I don't be looking at my own books, but they're there though, they're available. But what you said about just being able to nothing expected in return. That's a principle of love. Okay, either way, like, I'm going to hold this door open for this person because I want to, not because I want to thank you, or because I want their number, or because I want to, I may not even be going in the same place as them. I just may want to do this. And maybe they acknowledge me, maybe they don't. But if you're doing it because you want to, you genuinely want to, that's sincerity, that's love, that's freedom, a gift. And I'm saying hello because I want to. I'm just greeting someone. It's what is this? Let me read Izzy's comment again. In regards to gratitude, is so rare nowadays that when given in abundance, people often think something behind it. And I understand where you're coming from, because gratitude, appreciation, gifts, that's free. Like, I'm giving you appreciation because it's free. It's coming from my heart, or I'm expressing it maybe as a tip to the waitress or a waiter or what have you. But what you're saying, Izzy, does come from the place where a lot of times people are expecting something in return. It is not a free gift, and it gets you sometimes wary, thinking, like you said, because like, why are they doing this? What do they want? Or what is this real? Is this not? Like, and so it's not unusual, and it's not rare, unfortunately, that things are given out of a ransom rather than out of freedom. Freedom meaning a ransom, meaning I'm giving you this because I want something in return. I'm paying for this meal today, Charles, because you're going to pay for the next one. I'm giving you a ride because you're going to pick me up and give me a ride next time, or whatever it may be. Or I'm coming on your podcast only because I want you to come on my podcast, or all that sort of things. Here's an easy one. I'm following you back on Instagram only because you follow me. You know how serious people get about, well, they didn't follow me back. Well, what if they didn't want to? Do they have to? What if they wanted to connect or look at your page? What if they just don't want to follow you? Is that okay? I mean, officially follow. People ghost follow and stuff, but what if they don't want to follow you? Is that okay to follow someone who doesn't follow you too on the social media? Is it okay to send a friend request and someone just don't respond to it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm going to withdraw my request because they don't want it. It's like, not everybody wants to follow a friend or subscribe, and that's okay. That's freedom, and different people have different purposes for their social media and for their contact, for everything. And so if we could just step back, and whenever we feel offended, triggered, right? I'm going to share my screen, go through these things again after we go to the comments. Whenever we feel triggered, let's just remember this. 4 words. It's not about me. It's not about me. Whatever the person's response is, it's not about me. They upset, it's not about me. Don't have nothing to do with me while you upset. You didn't say thank you when I held the door up. That has nothing to do with me. I did what I wanted to do. Or you feel like my tone is somehow belittling to you. That has nothing to do with me. It's not about me. Your response and reaction to me is not about me. It's about you. We all have been in situations where we misread, mislabeled, misidentified, or responded to something that we thought was maybe a threat, and it wasn't even a threat. It wasn't even a hostile gesture or anything. And we know that, it's like, oh, get your hand out your pocket. Like, I'm trying to pull out my money to pay for something, but you might be traumatized by something, people going in their pockets around you. Might be off-duty cop, or you might be, PTSD, whatever it may be. I'm just giving examples, but we've all been in situations where we have read the whole thing wrong. Somebody may have been coming out of the goodness of their heart, out of actual gratitude, and we've been the one that been like, what's up? What's going on there? What's going on with that? So just want to put that out there. Let's go to another comment.
Says, what's up? He says, John Spence, that's his cousin. What's going on, John? Thanks for tuning in. Izzy says they have been together for 35 years. She's talking about Stedman and Oprah. And okay, Naeem left. And I really can you hear me? Oh, okay, there. And Temu says, Chuck, you can answer that question because you're married. Well, I really don't talk about my private life on here, but I can answer. Of course, if you love that person, you're definitely, you want to make that complete. And of course, it's about what happens if something happens to you. You know what I mean? Like, do you want your money if you're involved with this woman for all these years? Because a lot of guys, they get with these women, they be with for 11, 12, 13 years. And I understand, about the Commonwealth or whatever, but at the end of the day, do you want it to come down to that? Like, I guess it's a choice that you would have to make. Me personally, if you love that person, you would definitely go ahead and do the right things, in general. So again, it's a choice. And, marriage is a bonding contract, in case something does happen, to you, something, everything will go to your family, and versus the state taking whatever you have and divvying it out, and they're taking it and doing whatever they want with it. So again, if you love that person, you've been with them for years, why not marry them? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be with them anyway. So why not legally make that thing happen? And again, it's everyone's choice. You don't have to marry someone to still love that person or do what you need to do. But legally, you might run into some different problems. So I don't know if you want to.
I want to say something about that. Like, it doesn't. Everybody has their own reasons for why they do what they do, why they're married, not married. And that's why I was asking the question, what does it mean to you? Right? There's no wrong answers. There's no right answers, because what works for one may not work for another. Some people may just do it for the asset protection or the tax bracket, or you don't know why. You know, some people live together, they don't live together. Some people are married to someone that's abroad, like in different, not abroad like a woman, abroad in different country, you know. And so you don't know. And you can't look at another person's situation and judge it and be correct, because you're never going to be correct. You have to, more importantly, pick up my book. One book I do recall I wrote was Happily Ever After: A Guide for Healthy Marriage. And it's a book to actually not tell you how to have a healthy marriage, not even to get married, but really a book to get to know someone, that you're in relationship, in that type of close relationship with. So it asks you questions about money, about children, about cohabitation, about finances, beliefs, religion, all that stuff. Asks you different questions to have a conversation with each other. You can flip to any page in the book and say, "Oh, money. How good are you with money? Are you a saver, a splurger, a spender? What do you do? Do you invest, stocks? What have you? Just because these are questions that we don't really sometimes ask, and about important things like who's your power of attorney, who's your medical proxy, and stuff like that. And are you okay if I take off a year to go to school and you cover the basic needs of the household and stuff, instead of just, I'm taking off a year of school, so putting my feet up and you take care, here's my bills, here's a stack of bills for you. Like, that's like, we could have talked about that first. Like, yeah, but in a year I'll be making more money, I can deal with it. It's like, but maybe I had plans for my money and we were just splitting stuff, and now you just handing me a stack of bills. I don't know if I want to just throw the bills out or throw you out. I don't know, So anyway, y'all know what I mean. There's lots of good conversation questions in that book.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's different for every individual. And that's why I was curious what people thought.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Hey, Hope White says, wearing armor is living in expectation of someone else, which causes pressure and anxiety for the night. Shine in your light, no armor needed. I like that, Hope. I like that. So anybody want to chime in on that one? Are we good to go for that?
Make sure you have, if you're going to have some armor, make sure you got one of them crystals from Kinsu. It's lighter. It's not 80 pounds. Not gonna have you sweating underneath.
Jetty Gale chimes in. She says, thanks to you both for doing this as always. Thanks for the additional clarity in the facts of love and fear chart. And funny, Naeem, about the armor, laugh out loud. That's the kind of baggage we truly carry around in our minds every day. Agree with Hope. Could you talk more on expectations as a form of armor that we carry around? Thanks. I like that. Jay, we'll come back to that, Naeem. I'm going to go all through these. We'll come right back to that one. And Izzy says, how do you spell his name? I guess you're talking about Kinsu. You spell it Khensu. Again, Khensu. Kinsu.
I feel like she was talking about your name. It's Charles. Yes.
You don't know how to say my name. Something wrong. Something real wrong. Something really wrong. And Miss Willie Francis here. What's going on? I haven't heard from you in a little bit. Miss Willie, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. She says, I make a point to speak to my black people. And the guys sometimes act like you trying to hit on them. I say, Joker, I'm 76 and I'm not trying to fish. Hello. And that's right. They probably looking like guppies too. So again, keep doing what you're doing, Miss Willie. Don't pay them no mind. You know what I mean? And I know the feeling of the same thing. You'll speak to somebody and they looking, hair all over the head or whatever. And they, I'm like, hey, how you doing? They look at me like, what are you speaking to me for? I'm like, what? Oh, I was, trying to make your day. Okay, never mind. Take it easy. We got Taymu. He says, yes, because life is valuable and I wouldn't want to spend years as a couple. Marriage is more of a commitment and you can't just run from it like you can be in any relationship. That's very true. That's very true. But again, like I said, it's everybody, it's your preference, what you want to do. Because some people live happily ever after with, I ain't gonna say happily ever after, but they live happy with just not being married, and then sometimes they'll get married after like 20 years of being together and they divorce the next year. So it depends, it depends on the individual, And Izzy says, nice. And Jamila says, laugh out loud, Miss Willie. Yes, that was funny. But anyway, thanks for the comments. Do we want to go back to Dreddy Gal or what?
Yes, and if you could share my screen, that pull it up again.
Let me move this out of here. Dreddy girl, we were answering your question now, so we'll see it. Let me get this out of here too. All right, here we go. Boom.
I'm on mute. And talk about expectations as a form of armor that we carry in relationships. So that's another A for the fear, the right armor for abuse, anger, attack, and armor. You know, because you put on armor as what? A defense. And why do you defend? Because you're afraid of being attacked. And that's pretty much it. And we say in my first book, Love is Not a Game. There's no defense or offense in love. Love is just there. Love is everything. Doesn't need to protect itself. It doesn't need defense because it is invulnerable. It cannot be attacked. What cannot be threatened needs no defense, needs no armor, just extra baggage and weight. And expectations are definitely a form of armor, defense, weight, baggage. All these are the same thing. Armor, defense, weight, baggage. And it's also an attack because it's an attack on yourself. If I'm carrying around a story about somebody, something that happened years ago or whenever, I didn't hear from this person in 3 days and I found out that they ghosted me or they blocked me, and I'm carrying that. So now I tell everybody I meet, you have to talk to me within 72 hours, within 3 days, or I'm gonna be feeling insecure. That's a form of expectation, armor, and also obligation, entitlement you putting on somebody doesn't deserve to be there. It's an attack. Because why should someone have to change who they are and how they choose to freely interact with you because of your fear, your insecurities? Because insecurity is one of those things too. It just doesn't start with FACTS, but insecurity is up in there too. Fear, anger, abuse, attack, insecurity. You feel like you need to defend yourself. So I'm gonna put up this thing that says, call me within 3 days, or I'm gonna shut down. I'm gonna be so insecure. I'm gonna be so, Charles, what's going on? Why did you call me? Oh my God. And so anybody that think I'm using a woman's voice, I'm just using a crazy voice. That's the voice that comes in my head when I'm speaking crazy.
Hey, I meant to say that too because somebody did comment last week. What about men?
Right? I don't talk about men and women, and I'm just talking about this is the way an insecure mind thinks. Come on, Kensu. How come you didn't call me back? I called you 2 times, man. What's going on, man? It's the same. It doesn't matter. So it's trying to protect your feelings by forcing someone, again, forced to act and show up a certain way, which is not freedom. It's force. Even if it's low key, still force. And one of the things that Miss Willie said about people just taking it the wrong way when you're just being friendly. I think for those of us who are attentive enough to come on the show and listen and join in the conversation, we know enough that this is part of what people do. I think we should instill it as part of our normal functioning. And can we go on mute? I hear a little feedback. Our normal day-to-day understanding. Just like, okay, sometimes it rains, so I'm gonna have my umbrella ready. I'm not gonna be mad that I get wet because it rains. I'm gonna be like, stop it, rain, stop. I'm mad. This doesn't make sense. People are sometimes inconsiderate, sometimes unkind, sometimes dismissive. Sometimes they take things the wrong way. Sometimes they wanna make something that was not a come on into a come on. And knowing that much should clear your mind to say, okay, I know that this is what's going to happen, right? Just like your basketball or bowling, whatever, you shoot some shots just because you like shooting the ball. It's not going to go in every single time. But if you're like, I'm only going to play this game if the ball goes in the hoop every time, you wouldn't have a lot of fun, and you don't even get good at anything unless you do it constantly, right? So if you want to get better at appreciating yourself, people, life, just do it without expecting anything in return. Like going in the basketball court and just shooting around, or going window shopping and just say, oh, I love that outfit. I like that thing. I love that entertainment system. Whether you can afford it or not, it's not whether you're going to buy it or not, just to enjoy the experience. Like, oh man, look at this. I'm just like looking at that and so and so. Oh, look, check it out. And that way you will always win. And not because you're playing the game, but because you're having fun. Your goal is to have fun. And if you can have fun complimenting people, greeting people, then it doesn't matter how they respond. It doesn't. Sometimes in my head, I'll play a little game. Like I'll be like, I bet this person is not even gonna say something when I say something like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then they'll be like, act like I'm like, "See, I knew they was one of those. I knew it." Or sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, how you doing?" They're like, "Hey, how are you?" I was like, "Oh shoot, they responded. I was wrong. I'm good. How are you?" And I got to come back to it because I was wrong. You know.
But you know what though? How you say it too, Naeem, because if you're expecting that in your mind and you say she ain't gonna say nothing to me, is the way you throw the hello out. It might be more so of he didn't really mean to say that, or he didn't really want to say it. He just said it. So me, I just go with the expectation that they're going to say, "Hey, what's going on?" So I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Like it depends, you know how you say it. I think it's the delivery sometimes too.
You sound like you're doing a shock treatment, hypnotic induction. You like just walking, you're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And you're like, "Oh shoot, I'm fine, I'm good. What do you want?"
Or if you notice, if you smile, right? You smile,
Yeah.
people smile anyway. Like it's crazy. Like you'll walk up and just start smiling. Like, why is he smiling? Well, now they can't see me because I got the mask on, but I used to do that too, smile a lot. And people just start smiling for no, I mean, I'm telling you, it's contagious, man.
It is. It's the energy you put out.
Just gotta the energy you put out there. You'll get the right results.
That's right. Yeah, it's all about the energy because I'm going to share this in my other course that I'm working on about toxic relationships. That it all starts from your thoughts. It's 5 steps. You can make it simple. I like these 5 numbers. So it's the thoughts that cause your feelings, how you feel emotionally about something. You think about something enough, you start to feel it. You feel it emotionally. Your energy takes on that, emotion, and then your words, inner words to yourself, the stories you tell yourself, and then what you say out loud. Those are the words, and then your actions after that. So if someone is, again, let's say reacting, going back to the expectations and things like that, and they expect that you are saying hello to them because you want something from them, maybe you want their number, maybe them to, have a conversation. They just like, I'm not going to say anything. They respond that way. That's because they told themselves that story backwards from the action. That the action was they didn't speak, right? And it's because they told themselves the stories like, this person's trying to get something from me. I got to protect myself. Armor, right? Expectations. And then the energy is like, shut down. Let me shut down my energy. Then the feeling is like, okay, I feel like I have to defend myself. And the thought is, I'm not safe to say something. So back and forth, up and down, the thought becomes the action. It's not just you don't stop something at the action. You have to catch it at the inception with the thought, which is why all of my books are all about how you think and how love thinks and how fear thinks. Like this is a guide. Oh no, it's my name. It's over here. A guide to understanding called mindset and behavior. It's about the mindset. In that book, I don't mention one cult or alleged cult that's out here. I don't label or say, okay, this is a cult, that's a cult. No, I say, check your relationship, check your life for cults, because you might find some in there. And at least if you look retroactively back in your life and how you engage, because a cult could be 2 people. Did you have a relationship that was based on, let's go through it. C, control, U, unloving, lies for the L, and T for the trauma and the triggers. Was that going on in your relationships? Well, that was a cult. As simple as that. It's not no big bunch of people following some charismatic leader. It can be, but it's not always that. So it could just be you and another person who have a very codependent relationship, emotionally toxic relationship. So yeah, there's one more thing I wanted to say. I don't think we have any more comments. Kensu, you wanted to say anything? I don't. You're on mute.
Oh, I don't have anything to add. I'm taking on within. I'm very familiar with the Code 101 book.
Yeah. It's a guide to how to identify and heal yourself from the trauma of being in a cult and actually escape one if you're in one right now. Because the first thing about being in a cult, meaning an abusive relationship, is you don't know you're in it. You don't know you're in it. It's like a fish in water. You can't explain what water is to a fish until you take it out of the water. So one question that came up today in my earlier meeting, I do a daily prayer call based on Course in Miracles. And can we go on mute again? The feedback's coming up again. Thank you. One thing is someone asked the question, what's the difference between the truth and my truth? And that's a very good question, because a lot of times people are, we're saying my truth. Express your truth. Say your truth. It's your truth. And there's nothing wrong or right about saying that. I just want to get into, again, it's not what you say, how you say it, it's what you mean. And usually, not all the time, but usually when people say my truth, what they really mean is my opinion, my feeling about it. So I'm not making a campaign for or against the words. My campaign or my message is always, what is the truth? The truth is that love is freedom. Love is appreciation. Love is communication. Love is trust. Love is sincerity. That is not a personal, isolated, subjective truth. No such thing, actually, or opinion of mine. I don't give my opinions out publicly. And it's just the truth. It's just what it is, right? So you can, and again, we can all have our own beliefs and feelings about something, right? We can say, oh, Chuck baked the cake. My opinion is it's great because that rhymes with cake. Someone else's opinion is it's terrible. But what is it? It's his cake. It's the cake that he made. That's the only true thing here. Other way, your experience, your opinion, your feeling about it is that. Yours is this. But it's just a cake. That's just what it is. You get to have your own experience. So that's why I was getting at with the whole marriage question. What is your opinion? What is your thoughts on marriage? Because the truth about marriage is it's an idea, and in and of itself, it doesn't mean anything except what the people involved give it the meaning. If you give it a meaning, and the meaning you can have is only one of two things. And I'm gonna share my screen again because we can close with this and it'll make sense. So whenever you're ready, could you share my screen, please? So just since we're talking about marriage, here's where a healthy marriage or any relationship, I'm just using marriage, right? It doesn't matter, but any relationship is rooted in freedom, meaning both people are free. It's not a shotgun wedding, right? Both free to do this thing, how we want to do it. There's appreciation there for everyone involved. There's communication and clarity there. There's trust and truth there. There's sincerity there. And there's no fear there. There's no force. There's no attack there. There's no anger. There's no abuse. Right? There's no conflict or confusion. And if there is conflict, there's resolution. That conflict is resolved by communication and clarity, because you're not going to have any relationship that's 100% conflict free. There's always going to be some kind of conflict. The question is, can you resolve it peacefully together? Because here's another principle. Any two people who put their belief on and their trust in love and want to love, meaning appreciate each other above all else, they will have clarity. They will have resolution. There's nothing that can stop that. It's like, I want clarity with you and resolution with you above, I want to be right. I want to argue. I want to attack. I want to be justified. I want my feelings validated. Above all of that, I want to feel connected and love you and appreciate you. And that's any relationship. Any two people who are dedicated to anything on the right side of your screen, there's nothing that can stop them from having it, except the idea that something on the left side is more important or valuable. And sometimes we do get caught up in our conflicts, and we get caught up in confusion. We get caught up in triggers and trauma, right? We get caught up in confusion, like, oh, Consu, I called you 10 times. Why didn't you answer? And you're like, oh, I just, I was busy. But I called you 10 times. What happened? What's going on? Like, my phone was, I don't know. I don't always see. It's like, but why couldn't you see that I called? I don't know. I don't understand how phones work. But I called you. I could show you right now that I called you. You should have seen it. But I didn't see it. Why now? If I'm still caught up in Why did you see it, Kensu? If I'm still caught up in wanting to be confused over wanting to be clear, like, oh, we're communicating now. If I'm still caught up in the other thing, then we're not going to have communication until both of us get over our attachment to the conflict and the confusion. Be like, all right, we're talking now. What's up? How you doing? I missed you. I appreciate you. Moving on. More than we want our trauma and triggers, and more than we want separation and the belief that there's some scarcity in love and appreciation. That's what a healthy marriage, a healthy any kind of relationship is rooted in. Those facts. I'm done. Thank you for listening.
Hey, awesome conversation, man. Loved it. And but before we go, we gotta pay some bills. So we're gonna definitely run that commercial one more time. The A game. I'm gonna come back, tell everyone how they can find us, and then we'll end it with anything we need to say. Any last words? So here it is, the A game.
You putting a stack of bills up here, Charles? Oh no, we didn't talk about this earlier.
Was a second.
All right, go ahead.
The A game. Here it is. And that is the A game. Again, great for libido, strength, energy, and vitality. So definitely check it out. Give me a call. I think I may have 2 more left. 302-723-2836. I know y'all say every week he has 3 left. But again, 302-723-2836 to get your free sample of the A game. You can also catch us on LinkedIn at Feel Good Talk, Facebook at Feel Good Talk, YouTube at FGT Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. And you can also catch us at Instagram at Feel.Good.Talk. Again, Feel.Good Talk. Don't forget that dot in the middle. A lot of people forget that dot. And just want to show you all the shows that we do have here at Feel Good Talk. Wait a minute. I done messed that up. Hold on. Bear with me. All right, here we go. I ain't silly. Oh God, I'm sorry about that. Okay, we had live shows. We have, of course, tonight we got Feel Good Talk, Love 101, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night, check out Let's Talk About It on Thursday. That's at 7 p.m. That's with Izzy Meditates and Kendra Moore. We also have Williams World on Friday. That's at 6 p.m. We have Jamila J's Girl Talk on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's shooting all the way from California. And we have Give Me Some Sugar, Baking with Steven on Sunday. That's at 5 p.m., 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. He's coming all the way from Arizona. Okay. And then our pre-recorded shows we have on Mondays. We have Mindfulness Mondays with Izzy Meditates. That's at 9. We have Words from the Heart with Shayna Gordine. That's Tuesdays at 9. And More Life with Essential Oils on Wednesdays at 9. And on Saturday, we have Cassandra's Corner. That's at 10 a.m. for all the kids out there. Adults too, because she does a lot of arts and crafts, read some books and stuff of that nature. So she's really good. Have interviews on that show. So check her out. Cassandra's doing her thing. So again, that's Feel Good Talk. We have something for everybody. Naeem, I don't know what he's doing in the background, but he's definitely having fun, acting like he didn't do anything, but hey, man, awesome topic. Anybody got anything to say before we get out of here? Anybody?
Anyone? I'm good. Check out the books on Amazon. Just put my name in, you'll find them, and they'll change your life. Your life. So
yeah,
good stuff.
Yep. Anything for us, Kensu? Me.
No, thank you for letting me on.
Hey, man, you're part of the show now, so that that it's all good. So we'll see you next week too. So it's all good. So Kensu will be on next week. He's gonna have another fly necklace on We got to check it out. So, you know, they on the necklace. Hey, Kissy, you done started something now. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's hot. So again, hey man, I had a great time tonight. Have fun. This is our Feel Good Talk Glove 101, and catch us every Wednesday here at catch every Wednesday right here on Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business at 7 p.m. And we'll see you next week and same time. We may have to change the time for next week, and I'll talk to you, Naeem, about that. It may have to be Tuesday, but we'll let everyone know during the week. But again, have a great day. Be safe out there. We see you when we see you. Peace.